As you all know, we are living in unprecedented times. Never before in history has the entire world been this terrorized. The people are so afraid of a bug that they don't see the real enemy careening right towards them. But you do. We do not fear this virus. We fear this government. Never before in our history has 3/4 of mankind been ordered to close their businesses, close their schools, close their churches, and ordered to separate from friends and family. This is tyranny. Tyranny on a scale that 6 months ago would have been unimaginable. This is tyranny that is crushing our spirits. This is tyranny that is causing people to turn to drugs and alcohol. This is tyranny that is leading to depression and suicide. This tyranny is bankrupting families, bankrupting individuals, and bankrupting businesses. This tyranny is forcing people to depend on government for their very survival. Throughout history, we have seen the consequences of dependency on government. Look at any communist state around the world and you will see the plan that this government has laid out before us. When people are dependent on government, they are sold into slavery. They want us to depend on them for everything. And with that, they have complete control. Control that extends right into our very own personal biology. They want you to wear masks in public when there is zero evidence. Boo is right. When there is zero evidence that this will have any benefit. There are no suitable masks even available for our healthcare workers. Cloth masks are less than useless. It is blatantly obvious that for the average layperson, a mask may increase the spread simply due to the constant adjusting of an ill-fitting and ineffective mask. Yet Mr. Kenney and Dr. Hinshaw speak every day without a mask. Dr. Hinshaw states that not only is singing banned and dangerous, but so is laughter in public. She doubled down. Restrictions are supposed to be easing, but now laughter is banned as well? What is going on here? The numbers are way down. Not that these numbers even mean anything. We pretend to value science-based decisions, yet none of these restrictions on our lives, other than frequent hand washing and self-isolation of the sick, have any tangible or proven benefits. Across the whole of Alberta today, there are a total of 6 cases in our ICUs. Only 1 person is in the ICU in the Edmonton zone. Edmonton has only 58 active cases. Alberta has 865 active cases total. When this whole thing started, we were expecting exponential growth. I expected to see the cases doubling every day. That never happened. The only exponential growth I've seen has been in the Department of Government-Induced Tyranny. People are out now. We've been in phase 1 of reopening for 2 weeks and have seen no spike in cases. Clearly, this pandemic is over. I would argue it was over before it even started. The only science available on the subject of lockdown says that viruses spread more readily indoors. Yet playgrounds were off limits until yesterday. Fathers practicing soccer drills were ticketed even though everyone was following social distancing guidelines. Protesters were arrested and ticketed even though they were following social distancing guidelines. There is no justifiable reason for this government's actions, yet they refuse to ratchet down the fear tactics. We are told to assume everyone has the virus. You are told to stay 6 feet away from your family and neighbors. You are told to stay away from your places of worship. You are told that you are a danger to society. You could be the one that kills us all. There is no evidence to support these claims. There is no evidence that lockdown works at all. The U.S. states that did not enact stay-at-home orders are no worse off than those that did. and many of them are actually faring better. Sweden's death rate compares favorably with other nations that enacted strict lockdown orders. So why do they keep ratcheting up the fear? Everything about this pandemic has been bogus. Even the testing is bogus. I certainly do not believe everything that David Icke says, but when I heard him describe how the testing for this virus is faulty, I investigated further. It turns out he was right. I received a paper from a world-renowned local Edmonton clinical pathologist, Dr. Roger Hodkinson. In this paper, he outlines why the current testing is unreliable at best. On point-of-care testing, he states, this is a cheap, mass-producible test, somewhat like a pregnancy test in format, that is easily performed by non-technical staff and which enables rapid triage in locations such as airports and drive-through options for the general public. Except it is not available in the millions, and it is very inaccurate with many false positives and false negatives. On molecular diagnostic testing, the real-time PCR test, he states, this method is well known to have false negatives and also false positives, although not to the same degree as the point-of-care methods. That's the current state of COVID-19 testing. Relatively unavailable, inaccurate, and slow. And I would add, expensive. How much money has been wasted by the government during this exercise? The CERB alone will cost a minimum of $35 billion. The wage subsidy program is estimated at $73 billion. As of April 30th, the federal government has doled out $145 billion of your hard-earned money. They expect us to pay for this incompetence. What will this do to our already sky-high tax rates? Before this event, the interest paid on the federal debt was already larger than the income taxes collected. Before this event, even our interest charges are financed by new debt. The Bible states that the borrower is servant to the lender. The government has sent you and your children and your children's children into slavery. We will never pay this off. It will be a stone tied around our necks forever. You thought medical care was bad before this epidemic? Wait and see how bad it is about to get. You thought schools were underfunded before this pandemic? Just wait to see how that comes out. Who would even send their children to schools with the insane restrictions they are crafting? Children will have no recess, no play, no gym class. Who's seen the pictures of those squares drawn on the ground in France for the children to sit by themselves outside?
Child abuse! The teachers need in there!
If laughing and singing is dangerous, there will be no band classes either. Schools are about to become penitentiaries, prisons for our children. I will not accept this. I will not tolerate this. I will speak up on these issues until I am dead.
Amen.
And so, Jason Kenney, the government of Alberta, the government of Canada, I say, in the words of Greta Thunberg, how dare you bankrupt us? How dare you lie to us? How dare you rob our children of their childhood? How dare you? How dare you destroy our economy? How dare you destroy our businesses? How dare you crush our spirit? How dare you sow fear and division among the people? How dare you frighten us into servitude? How dare you sell us into slavery? How dare you suspend our charter of rights and freedoms? How dare you suspend my liberty? We will not accept this. We will not comply. We will not be fooled again. We will not trust you again. Are you willing to accept this new normal?
Hell no!
Hell no!
Are you willing to trade safety for liberty?
No!
Are you willing to sell your children into perpetual slavery?
No!
Are you willing to accept the loss of our religious freedoms?
No!
Are you willing to accept the banning of singing and laughter?
No!
Are you buying into the fear?
No!
Are you buying into is social distancing. Did you vote for this? Are you willing to accept this communist takeover? Are you willing to submit to this government? I refuse to accept this new normal. I refuse to accept our political leaders. Any politician that suspends our charter of rights and freedoms is nothing but a tyrant. I did not vote for tyranny. I did not vote for slavery. I demand my rights back, and I demand them back now. As I said before, I am not done with you, Jason Kenney. Your gaslighting about only 15% of businesses being closed is a flat-out lie.
Right on.
All businesses have been severely affected, and all individuals have been severely affected. So cut the lies, and let's get back to the old normal. We are coming for you, Jason Kenney.
Lockdown! End the 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 lockdown!
I just want to let Dr. Hinshaw know that I still reject her adopting of me as her son. She's not my mother. She's not. She can't tell me to go outside. She can't tell me when I can go outside and when I can't. She's not my mom. She's not your mom either, I don't think.